What's up, guys? In today's video, I'm gonna be showing you guys the basics of how to mix and master your vocals in FL Studio. One of these songs that I'm gonna be using is from my new tape that's dropping very soon. I'll put the link to the pre-save down below. Make sure you guys go cop some presets. Also got a new website. It's at saint.com. Make sure all y'all go copy out presets, because I know a lot of you guys had issues with personally going through it with me through my Instagram or contacting me, so I made it a lot easier for you guys. But yeah, so make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment down below. Let's get into the video. Wait, and also I forgot to let you guys know, I have been working on my setup a whole lot more. As you guys can see, I got a new camera, new everything, so I should be posting videos a whole lot more, and I'm sorry for the inconsistency, but I've been trying to focus on my own music and building this tape and basically just building my own community as a whole. So thank you all for the support that you guys have been leaving me as I've been gone. I know you guys missed the videos, missed the presets, but yeah, on to the video now. Alright, so to start today's video, basically, I'm gonna be showing you guys some basics on how to mix and master your vocals. I got some freaking tricks up my sleeve that a lot of you guys don't even know about. So hopefully this is helpful, and hopefully this could help cater also to the mixes that you guys are able now to buy from my website at saint.com, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, hopefully it should help you guys out with your mixes when you go to use my presets and use the mixes that I cater to your guys' voices. So alright, so yeah, so this is a song off of my tape called Vampire, and this is gonna be featured as, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the first song on my tape that I'm dropping. And so here, I'll play a little snippet of it so you guys can hear the mix and hear how it will sound basically fully done.
Too far for this. I see what you want from this. Say what do you want from this? Say what do you want? What do you want? What do you want from this? You know that I need you, but I need you wrong for this. In my eye, that's a dead eye. Minutes to win it home. Up the stand. 2026 saying I better realize.
Alright. I done played enough, okay? I played enough. But so as you guys can hear, I have a whole new mix, whole new crazy sound. Shout out to my man's Vax. He helped me out a lot with the sound, catering into my voice. Anyways. But yeah, so to get in today's video, first I'm going to start off with your main vocals and how to EQ your vocals. So here, I'm going to play my vocals alone so you can hear how they sound and how they're EQ'd, the compression, everything. I'm going to just show you how the basics.
I done waited too long for this, too long for this. Try to see what you want from this. Say what do you want from this? Say what do you want? What do you want? What do you want from this? You know that.
So as you guys can see, I have a very, like, I guess you could say pungent mix. And it's very high-endy, very like you could really hear my vocals on top of a very loud, chaotic beat, and that's a big thing that sets my mix aside from many other people that mix their vocals or do whatever the case. So to start the video, I'm gonna show you guys basic EQing. So for your vocals, there's gonna be many different frequencies that pass through each thing that you're saying and how you're saying them. And a basic way to explain it is, look, I'm gonna solo a vocal, and I'm gonna show you guys how the EQ works. So when I play this vocal, let's say I were to raise the high end a crazy amount.
I done waited too long for this.
So as you guys can see, that has a lot of high end within the vocal, and high end is basically that higher frequency that your vocals produce when you're saying certain things. It's just how our voice really works. Another thing, low end. A big thing I used to not do in my vocals was cut out my low end, and that would cause my beat to clash with my vocals, which would make my vocals sound like they were behind the beat, and it would be just not very easy to understand what I was saying, how I was saying, whatever the case may have been. So your low end is basically the bass or the lower frequency in your vocal. So if I raise this a ton,
I done waited too long for this.
You could then hear that my vocals are very bassy and very like, I don't know, very like hard to, I guess you say, understand, because they're so like punchy, and when they punch as much as the beat is obviously punching, because 808s have low end, things like that, it's gonna clash and it's gonna cause your vocals to become drowned out behind your beat, and you never want that to happen, because people like to listen to your lyrics, listen to how you say your thing, everything like that, and that's also a big thing that comes with making music in general. So then in the middle, you're gonna have this thing called mid end, which are basically that radio-ish sound that's gonna cause like a lot of clashing sometimes. So I'll show you what this sounds like.
I done waited too long for this.
Sorry for your guys' headsets, but that just goes to show you how crazy your mid ends work. So that's basically just main EQing. So the EQ setup I have here is these are frequency cuts, and the way these work is I would play my vocal.
I done waited too long for this.
And I would look. Hold on, let me turn this off for you guys. But I play my vocal.
I done waited too long.
And I would see how the frequency is moving, and these cuts cut out certain frequencies I don't want in my vocal. So like, look, if I were to play this with this all the way up,
I done waited too long for this.
you guys hear that noise in the background? That's a frequency that I want to get rid of because it makes my vocal sound a lot less sharp and a lot less, like, I don't know, very pungent, and it makes it sound like a lot cleaner and a lot more basic, more flat, because sometimes, depending on the type of mic you have, sometimes it doesn't always perfectly fit your voice or how you want your frequencies to sound within your EQ. So this is a basic EQ cut, and that just shows the basics of what an EQ is, what the frequencies do, and how you can cut certain frequencies out because you don't want them to sound trash. Another tip I'm gonna give you guys is your recording preset. The way I set up my recording preset, a lot of you that caught my preset don't know how to use my recording preset. The way this works is you're gonna have your input, which is basically your mic, and it's gonna talk through it. What I use on my recording preset is a fruity limiter, which also acts as a noise gate and cuts out my background. Because right now, if I were to turn this off, this is what it sounds like. And you guys can hear my fish tanks. You can hear all the loud things in my room. And my room is not very sound treated. That's why I have a lot of background noise, a lot of everything. And I have a pretty big room, and there's a lot of empty space in it. And if you want your vocals to sound more crisp, more cut clear, you do not want that external frequencies coming into your mic, because that can also mess up your mix with your EQs, everything like that. So a big thing is use a limiter on your recording preset. Next, I'm going to show you guys your Autotune. Your Autotune is very dependent and is very personal preference. My Autotune, I use 100% retune and 100%, or I use 0% retune and 100% humanize. What this does is it has that robotic auto-tuning sound that every underground artist or any rapper really wants, but it also has some humanize in it, which makes the auto-tune and the switch in between notes a lot smoother and a lot cleaner. So I definitely think a lot of people should use a decent amount of humanize, but it really just depends on the sound you're going for, because there's a lot of artists that use a lot of humanize and a lot of artists that use a little, and it just, like I said, it really depends. With my sound, since it's more melodic, more singing and rapping, I kind of have a high humanize but still with a decent amount of auto-tune, so it kind of combines itself and it's easy for me to work with sometimes. But if I'm trying to do more singing on a track or more rapping, more singing, I would obviously raise my humanize and lower my retune a little bit so that my notes aren't transferring as fast. And if I was doing a rapping track, I would obviously have my auto-tune higher and my humanize a little lower, just so that it's more rappy, more like that sound. You get what I'm saying? So another thing is your key. You want to always have your key set for when you record, and your key is always going to match your beat. I recommend a lot of people use Auto Key. Auto Key is a plugin that you purchase with Ontario's Autotune. I also have the link to purchase that in my Discord. And Auto Key, basically what it does is it's just going to send your beat through your Auto Key, tell you what the key is, things like that, basics of FL. And then you would just either click send to Autotune, or you would just put the key in here. And that is a big mishap that a lot of beginners don't do. So hopefully that helps a lot of you guys out. Another thing I'm going to show you guys in my recording preset is this plugin called Mic Mod. A lot of people don't know about this plugin, but it is a very useful, almost essential plugin that I use in my recording preset, because a lot of the times my mic is very quiet and my gains aren't boosted to the sound that I wanted to go for, basically. So if I turn this off, you're going to see I become a lot quieter and a lot more flat. When I turn Mic Mod on, my vocals sound a lot brighter and a lot more sharp, I guess you can say. And so the way this works is Mic Mod is basically transmitting your mic to a mic that you maybe want, or a mic that you like the sound of. So here I have an Audio-Technica AT2020 XLR mic, and I want it to transmute to a Neumann TLM103 mic, because that's obviously a more expensive mic. It's like $1,000 mic, and I just want it to transmit to that gain, so that sounds more crispy, sounds a lot brighter and a lot louder and easier for me to mix my own vocals. These are my settings that I use. It's all dependent. Tube saturation, like look, if I change this, it adds more brightness, less brightness. You know what I'm saying? It's really all just kind of down to the person. I choose 40 tube saturation and my proximity all the way up with a 5 input gain. And that basically would just make my mic a little louder, and like I said, have that crispy sound and basically just sound good overall. And I also use this thing called a de-esser sometimes, because sometimes my S's could sound a little bit too pungent when I don't use this. This is a pop filter. It's basically like a Chaotica eyeball, and what it does is it traps in those sounds so that when I go it gets rid of those plosives and it doesn't have that punchy noise full of that low end frequency that we talked about earlier. And it also doesn't take as many S's, so it's like S. And sometimes when I record, I talk with like a very high S, almost kind of like just weird. I don't know. It's just something I do sometimes when I like, it's just weird when I record. I record with an S sound sometimes, and it just sounds really bad, especially if I want a high-endy mix. So why I use this thing called a de-esser is because if I turn this on and I lower this, notice how my S's get drowned out. And that's why a de-esser is a huge thing, because I know a lot of you like to record with that high-end sound so that it can punch in front of your vocals, in front of the beat. But the con with that is you get that real high-pitched frequency, and nobody really wants to hear that in all your vocals. So I'll definitely try and pay attention to that whenever you're recording, and a big help would be a de-esser, and that's why I recommend that for many people. Next, another thing I use a lot of the times when I'm mixing is a plugin called Ozone, and you can get this by purchasing it on their website. Ozone is an AI masterer, and it will master your vocals to the perfect amount that you want it to. Basically, what you would do is you would click switch to the assistant view. It asks you to play the loudest song of your mix, and it'll come up with a screen displaying how much clarity, how much vibrance you want your vocals, and it'll also ask you if you want to maximize your vocals or change the loudness of them. And I think it's an amazing plugin that a lot of you guys should use, and it will definitely upgrade your sound a lot more than you think it will. But that's basically all the tips that I have for you guys. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, comment down below what videos you want to see in the future. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Like I said previously, I have been working a lot on my own personal music, and that's why I haven't focused too much on my YouTube. But I'm finally back and I'm here, and I have a camera now, better quality for you guys and everything. And yeah, and also make sure you guys go cop the presets down below, and also join the pre-save for my new album coming out so you guys can enjoy that. I know a lot of you will. I have a lot of new sounds. I have a Vax feature. It's almost all prod Viva and Blacko, and I also have a song featuring Kill 'Em, which is kind of an R&B song, and this R&B song really shows my versatility throughout this project. And there's also like a jazz song. Like, there's some crazy songs on this album, and I think a lot of you guys will mess with that. So make sure you go pre-save down below. And thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys later.